Hello, my Flosstube friends, and welcome back for another weekly update with me, Annie. I am Joy-Filled Stitcher here on Flosstube, YouTube, as well as on Instagram. And this is my 26th weekly update. I have done one every week, which means if my calculations are correct and there are 52 weeks in a year, I'm halfway to my 1-year Flosstube anniversary. Happy 6 months of floss tubing to me. Today is Friday, November 8th, and we're already like jam-packed into November. Here we are, November, we're here. November is here. I have on my Mistakes Happen Growth Mindset shirt. I love this shirt. Mistakes happen. You've very much heard my philosophy on I don't normally frog things out unless they are just ridiculously wrong, because you know what? I'm just going to go with the flow. One whole wing of my HL's Moth is wonky, and it's okay. I'm just rolling with it. And it's going to make an appearance this week. So, how is everybody this week? I hope everybody has had a wonderful stitchy week since we chatted last. I've had a great week, a very fun-filled stitchy week. I finished my homework by like Wednesday night. Go me. I don't know what it was like my needles were on fire. I was going fast. So yeah, I'm setting about to like work on some other things with that extra time. So if you are returning, welcome back. Thank you for joining me for another weekly installment of the wonderfulness that is me. If only that could be my screen grab, that'd be awesome. That was pretty good too. If you are new here, since my last video, welcome to you. I'm so happy you're here. I'm happy you found me, and hopefully you'll hear some things, see some stitching you like, and stick around. I am officially, as of today, at 400 subscribers. So wow, how awesome. I'm like, that's just, it floors me. I mean, we were just at 300. I already said my goal for my next giveaway is 500, so I just want to give immense amounts of thank yous and just tell you all how much you rock. So let's get right on into it today. So I have my Flosstube notes in my Flosstube and Stitch book. This is from Artist Designs. Amanda May designs these, and it has my show notes for today. I think the first thing, let's do a bit of a life update. So we're rocking some pretty awesome hair today. Not gonna lie. I don't even know where I was going with that, other than I have within the last 6 months had this problem of I have 3 cabinet doors in my bathroom, and I'll pull the top one open to get something out, and I leave it open. And invariably, I will bend down or do whatever, and then I'll go to like leave out, and as I'm walking out, I'll either bean myself in the head with the door itself, or lately I've decided that, oh, I'm just going to like whack myself hard as I'll get out right here on the top of my head. And it's like literally in the same spot. So I literally feel as if I have a giant goose egg off the top of my head. I clearly do not, because this is just poofy, crazy hair. But I have had a headache for 3 days. I finally went to the school nurse today. I said, "Nurse, will you look at my head?" And her first look was this. And I said, "No, I don't think I have lice." You know you work at a school when you ask the nurse to check out your head and she immediately thinks you have bugs. No. I said, I whacked my head on the cabinet. We usually look at it. And she said, I do see you have like a red spot. It's not like crazy out of control. I said, I feel like, because I can't see it. I was like, I'm like in the mirror, like trying to do this. I can't see it. She said, I know it probably feels like this giant knot. It's just a small bump. But I've had a headache for like 3 days. But I've tried to do anything to keep my mind off the fact that shut the cabinet door. Like, it's not that hard, Annie. Shut the cabinet door, and then you don't whack yourself with it. Anywho. Also, lately I've been very forgetful. My dad used to have this saying, actually it may have been my grandmother who said it an awful lot to my dad, who then said it an awful lot to us. He would say, oh, you're such a forgetful Jones. And I don't know where that originates from. But anyway, I've been a forgetful Jones lately. So far this week alone, I left my lunch at home sitting on the counter, and I even thought to myself, I'm not going to forget my lunch, because I'd forgotten it like 2 weeks ago. And it was a good lunch too. So I texted my husband. I said, hey, before you go to work, can you bring me my lunch? He brought me my lunch. Thank you. Oh, so amazing. Then the very next day, I get home and I'm like, where's my purse? I left my purse in the cabinet at work. Because my car keys are on my classroom keys, like on a ring. Yeah. So Forgetful Jones is me. All right, so what do we have to chat about today? I have quite a number of whips, I think like 9. I have some talks about some plans and some things I'm looking forward to introducing to you. A little bit about what I'm considering starting in November, and a tiniest bit of stash. So I think what we're going to start with though first is we're going to start with a project that I took on. And this is thanks to, I was watching Rolodex Stitches, and I will link her below. I love her videos. She has a bit of a potty-ish mouth. She is upfront about that. And she is in Japan for a couple of years due to her husband's work, and so she shares kind of some of the stuff about Japan. Well, one of the things that she was showing is that she had gotten a pattern from Michelle G. Bendy Stitchy, and that she had laminated the pattern. And I thought, oh, okay. Well, I stitch from a digital copy. From a scanned copy, I stitch off of my iPad. So I don't really need a laminated pattern. But I was like, that's genius. So what did I do? I printed out all of my images of all of my charts, all my current whips, or things that are kitted and starting soon. Like small size so they'll fit my pouches, and laminated them. I have a laminator not only at school. Well, the school has a laminator. I didn't use this. I have like a little Scotch laminator, so they're all in a pouch. A Scotch laminator. And I buy the pouches, the 8.5 by 11 off of Amazon. And so I can laminate at school. I have a wider format Scotch laminator. Wider, it's actually like this wide. It's like, it'll do like a 12-inch, I think. I have that here at home. Laminate all the things. Laminate all the things. My husband, when we got married, said, are you going to laminate me? I said, well, if you get too close, you might. Watch out. So anyway, I set about doing that, and then one of the things I need to obviously do this weekend is get those all put into their subsequent project bags and pull out the crumpledy, rumpledy, crinkly, wrinkly copies that are in there. And so I'm super excited about that. And then my thought is having like them on a ring, and as I finish them, putting like the date I finished them and any other pertinent facts, and like putting them on a ring, and so then I've got like a ring of finishes. That would require me to start finishing some things, which kind of goes into my November plans. I've now subsequently rambled for 9 minutes and have shown you no whips, and I have 9 whips. So I am trying to film this directly into YouTube to see if it can thwart the incessantly long uploading. So we shall see. So this week, so when we last talked, I still had homework to complete. I still had, I think, like 200 stitches to put into Hoity Toity and 200 to put into Rosetta. And so I will show those at the end because they made an appearance in homework this week. Over the weekend, I did go ahead and catch up my temperature quilt. This is a freebie pattern off that I found via just Googling and looking, and then it led me to this this pattern maker's Instagram, and then it's linked to her blog. But it's at Hetti Ruckert. I will link it down below. I share this once a month. And so this is my temperature quilt. This is on a piece of 18 count opalescent white Aida. And this is, each block is 1 day of this year. So I am now completely caught up with October. October started right here with this triangle, went up here and across here. So all I can say is we went from all this red and orange to October, you're drunk, go home. I mean, look at this. There were like 40s. Some of these colors have not been seen since March and maybe April. But like some of these blues and stuff, bonkers. It was like 42 for the high one. And then like the next day it was 82. So lots of variety. I kind of was complaining about how long this was going to take me because some months it's fast. Like August and September, maybe even July, were very fast because it was a lot of red and orange, red and orange, red and orange. This month was not as slow as I thought it would be, but I think it had a lot to do with this ended this ring. Like the ring starts here and goes to here. So this is the new repeat. And as you can see, this entire repeat all the way around is going to be this little diamond type shape. So other than the fact that there was 1,000 color changes and very few repeating colors, it went fairly quickly. Also pin stitch for the win. Learning the pin stitch has been a lifesaver. Lifesaver. This one lives in a pouch with some cute rainbow raindrop. I have 2 more months to put in it and then it will be done. It has November, obviously, and December. This is one that will not be a 2019 whip that will get finished in 2019 because I obviously have to wait until the high temperature on that day. So that's what I worked on first over the weekend. I then started about with homework. I'm not going to go into the specific tasks. If you're interested in like more specifics about the tasks, Garrett over at Coffee Stitcher always goes into his current week's homework as well as the week coming up and does a wonderful job. Sammy J stitches. She also does a really wonderful job. Erin 2 Martini Stitcher. Oh, my words are broken again. Erin 2 Martini Stitcher. She also talks a bit about them. I am participating in tasks for School of Magical Stitches. We are in year 7. And I am also doing enchanting stitching challenges. And we are doing this month is Coco. Now, over the weekend though, we had a pop-up event. And the pop-up was to kind of get us to a Monday because the month ended on Thursday. And instead of doing like a 3-day homework, we had a pop-up against Oogie Boogie. And he did some stuff and he took away some of my points and blah. But anyway, I ended up using my Rosetta and my Hoity Toity stitches on that for that pop-up. So Monday started new homework. So some of these double dipped, I don't remember, but I think everything had like between 200 and 250 stitches. I pulled out an oldie but a goodie. I do not have an image of this one, but this is Little House Needleworks Strawberries, and it's at one of the kits that comes with, it came with the Crescent Colors. And I got this off of, I think it was I don't remember. But I got it off of somewhere. It has the Crescent Colors, which is now Classic Colorworks. And this is on a piece of 20 count Aida Petit Point. And so I put in some time into this one. I did a whole lot of this green. And I love how it's variegating. And I'm loving this 20 count. So this is one of the ones you're going to hear about here in a minute when I talk about November plans. This one lives in a lustrous Great Value bag. Ziploc bag. The Ziploc bag from Great Value. It's fancy. It's French. Okay, then I used both of my Noah's pieces. So I used these for different tasks. I used my Noah's Welcome Mat, and this is what it will look like. This is a freebie off of the Plum Street Samplers website, linked below. This one is a companion piece to the Noah's Christmas Arc pieces. And I'm currently working on the Crocs. I'm calling them Noah's Crocs, not to be confused with the shoes. And this lives in a Be Crafty bag. You can find them on Facebook. I sent her fabric all the way over to the UK. She made it and sent it back to me. I paid her, obviously, but I sent my own fabric because I had this that I wanted. So this is where I am with this. This is on a piece of 36 count R&R in Stars Hollow blend. And so I am getting fairly close. The entire inside is stitched. I now simply have the border to complete. And this is going to be for my mom for Christmas. And so I need to get that done and FFO'd rapidly. All right, so then on the Crocs, I have one Croc that is just simply lacking his eye. And then the other Croc is missing this checkerboarding, the other color of checkerboarding in his eye. And so this one is actually getting fairly close. I think it has like some snowflake things, and then a border, and then it's got some water and fish. So this one's got a bit more in it. Obviously these are both in need of being finished pretty quickly, but they stitch up really quick. I think I did both of those in an afternoon. I was pretty impressed with that. But again, needles of glory this week, needles ablaze. They were plowing through stuff. All right, then I spent some time on my Squirrely Welcome piece. And actually I did the thing for that so you can see what it's going to look like. And I have to pull it up on my phone. So this is a piece I designed myself for #SquirrelSal. This is gigantic. It's not going to be this big, but it's got my 2 squirrel friends with their acorn berets. They are battle botting it out for that acorn with my welcome. And so I've got a bit of progress in this. This is in a Love You More Studio co-pouch with these cute squirrels on it. And this is on a piece of 36 count XJU designs in Little Dove. And so I've got a lot of this squirrel in that mulberry color. So I've got to finish out the rest of him in mulberry, and then the interior of the tail and the cap will be in the sarsaparilla color. So I've had a number of folks ask if this is going to be a pattern that's going to be released. It will go to my Etsy shop. I do wish to finish stitching it first. That's just something that for me, I want to make sure there's no problems with the pattern. This one I've already finished stitching. I am simply finishing getting it into a PDF format so I can get it listed. Then I've got Squirrely Welcome, and then I've got another one that I want to start. A couple more that I want to start. So yeah, those are coming. All right, so then I did put in some time into Ink Circles Rosetta. And in lieu of finding the copy, I will show you this one. So this is this beautiful, it actually goes this way. So I am working on this motif right here. So it's 12 different motifs, and even the center motifs are different. This is by Ink Circles. This lives in a So Much to Love bag. You can find them on Etsy. I will link them below, and this one is a Paris bag. I am stitching this on a piece of 20 count Aida Opalescent from Mystic Fabrics, and this is in the colorway Snert, which you can get off her website, also linked below. I do try to link everything, but as I've said before, I upload the video completely and then I go back and include all the information. And so if there's something that I've said is going to be there, it will. It just takes me some time. I mean, it takes a couple of hours unless I'm copying pasting. I'm doing kind of the same projects right now, so it is a bunch of copy paste. So I have quite a significant amount. As I have mentioned previously, I'm doing a custom color conversion by me. The entire perimeter will be in Gentle Arts Cinders. This first motif is in Gentle Arts Verdigris, and each motif will be a different color. And so as we go along, I'll kind of share a little bit more. I am loving these teeny tiny little stitches in on this 20 count. Now, I will say I am using 2 threads. I know some people with 20 count like 1 strand. I like plump. I like my stitches to be plump. And I don't find it to be too challenging to stitch with the 2. So I'm just going with it. And here, I'll show you my color palette. I know I've shared it before, but in case somebody is new and has not had a chance to check out my playlist that is, that I have a playlist that's called Let's Start at the Very Beginning. And that's a very good place to start. That has all of my regular Flosstube videos. All my extras are not in there. I think it starts with a whip parade. Whip parade, whip parade. That's a throwback, man. So here's my color palette, cinders being the outside. And the cinders I got, I'm obsessed with. I actually bought 3. I don't think I will need that much. I don't think I'll need 15 yards. But I did not want to run out because this is like my definition of perfect. And then I've got some pinks, corals, rusty reddish, some oranges, some golden, kind of chartreusey green. That's actually corn husk, which is a bit more olivey green. And then I've got this one, which I'm going to be so excited to stitch. And this is Island Blue. I love the blues and greens. And then the next one I will stitch will be in Dragonfly. So it's another turquoise and brownish and greenish and awesomeness. And then we've got cucumber. So I will eventually be sharing this, my color conversion. I'm just not ready to yet. Excuse me, please. I have a spam call. Spam risk is what it said. Spam risk. Okay. Trucking right along. My last one, no, I have 2 more for homework. The next one that I worked a little bit on was Hoity Toity. We know it, we love it. I am doing this all in Mrs. Sados's beautiful silks. I'm calling it hashtag Hoity Toity Silky Sal, and there's some other folks starting, and I'm excited. And I know some people have started in the middle. I started in the top. Debbie started at the top, and I am pumped. And I have a long dog. I have a long dog on mine. This one is living in a Diddly Daddle Designs bag. I love this bag. It fits my 8x11 Q-snap. Could you just die? Like, I've started in, this tree is complete. This bit of grass is complete. And look at that long dog. He's so variegated and awesome. He's ready to pounce on something over here in the middle. I think some birds. There's some birds. I used this one for your piece would make noise. Because I was like, there's clearly dogs and like 13 birds on here. And so those dogs are going to be barking at those birds if they're anything like my dog. And look at this butterfly. I love it. I love it. Love it. So, and this was the first time using this cool orangey golden amazingness. I'm so excited for this piece. I get a little like intimidated when I look at it and how far I still have to go. Because like I go, wow, look at all that I did. And then I go, gulp. I've done like this. I haven't even gotten to that motif. And I'm right here. I haven't even gotten this all complete. I'm like, Hoity Toity is going to be like epic when it's done. But it's going to take me an epically long time. Epically long. But I'm still loving it. And that's all that matters. So I'm trying to get this for at least 1 task a week. I'm not expecting it to be finished anytime soon. And that's okay. All right, so then my final project that I worked on for homework is the impeccable HL's Moth by the one and only Kathy Barrick. And I am pushing on this one rather quickly. I did a bit of a color conversion. I now have over 1/2 of this moth complete because I have since finished, the whole body is finished. And this whole side is finished. And I am truly in love with this. In love. I mean, just, I know I should not be petting it, but just the stitches. So, I have literally 1 color left over here, and it's this caramel color. And it's a Victorian Motto caramel something. It's equivalent to DMC 167. So, I have just those details here. And in this bottom wing, it's not much. I think it ends up being maybe about 500 stitches. So you might see a finish on this next week. This on a piece of 16 count. I've been calling it the wrong count. Excuse me while I get very close to you. That's my shoulder. Woo. And I'm back. And I might have made you sick. This is a 16 count. I've been calling it an 18, but it's a 16 count from Mystic Fabrics and Veteris. And this lives in my magical moth pouch, which I will be sad to see go. But I'm excited that for this one to have a finish. I have not yet decided if I'm going to do the initials or not. I am considering doing my initials. And I vaguely remember somewhere there being like an initial chart that looks like the HL. I might have made that up. I might need to go look at my main pattern and see if it's in there, because I vaguely remember seeing it somewhere. And if that's the case, then I'm going to do AV. I've also contemplated not putting them in at all and just having that be the framed piece. But is that okay? Can you make, like, not have any of the initials? I don't know. We shall see when it actually gets finished. My hope is that I can slot it in for some homework this week, get some more time in it, maybe push for a finish. We shall see. That actually brings me a little bit towards plans. So in terms of plans, I am tackling what I'm calling Focus on a Finish November. So I have about 8 or 9 projects that I have kind of pulled. Either they're close, if I modify the design, not modify the design, but I modify the finish. There's some that there's components I'm not wanting to stitch, so it's going to end up being a smaller piece. It's kind of like HL's Moth, I think, is on there. Some of my Strawberry Mania pieces are on there. I would like to focus on finishing some of those this month. Obviously, both of the Noah pieces are on there, but that's because there's a pressing Christmas deadline for those. So this weekend, in the spirit of kind of trying to get my mind wrapped around the remainder of this year, focusing on a finish, also looking ahead towards 2020 and what projects I want to take with me into 2020. Hoity Toity is obviously going into 2020. Same with Rosetta. Same with Playing with Jacks. Like, I have some of these projects that I just recently started. I think I finally have found, like, the joy-filled projects in my life. I know that sounds kind of cheesemo. But they're the ones that, like, I constantly want to work on. HL's Moth is one of them. I'm going to be bummed when it's over. And that's, like, kind of a bummer to me. But, like, I also want to see it finished and framed and up, like, on my wall. So, in terms of kind of thinking intentionally about my stitching and watching some of these amazing folks on Flosstubes go through all their whips, go through all their kitting, go through all of their stuff and see, okay, what is going to be something I really think I'm going to want to stitch? Because the fact of the matter is, I now have stash beyond my life expectancy, I feel like. And I'm just continuing to see things I want to buy. So there's things that make me feel guilty for having them. Like, there's somebody out there that wants to stitch it. And some patterns, like, I have Quaker Oz. I don't know that I'll ever stitch it. I found it. I loved it. But I honestly don't know if I'll ever stitch it. So in light of that, on Saturday, I pulled out every whip. And I discerningly looked at them and said, do I want it? Could I push for a finish quickly? Or is it just a pipe dream? I'm no longer, like, loving it. Pass it on. Or salvage the fabric, salvage the floss for something later on. So I did a whip down. Thank you to Michelle Garrett, Michelle Bendy Stitchy, and Lollipop Stitches. I was inspired by your video. So I did a whip down. I think I got rid of 3 whips. My bigger thing was I did a kit down, a kitted down. So I have like 30 projects kitted. And some of them I'm just not like real attached to anymore. One of them being the Christmas Quaker. And it's funny because somebody actually commented today on that video and said, well, I hope you did it in this color. Here's the thing. I didn't actually ever start it because it's another one of those monstrous projects and I'm just not feeling it. So that being said, I have that beautiful fabric. I have those 2 colors of floss, and I already have something else that I love even more in mind for it. So it's not like the materials are going to go to waste for that. It's just going to be repurposed. So in my kit down, I found some kitted things that are going back into my stash, but it kind of then led to a pattern down. So I kind of started with whips. What do I have already? And then it allowed me to pull into some pieces of like, hey, what's my focus on a finish? What do I know is going to go into 2020? And that's okay with me because they're big projects or they're things I'm still obsessed with. I just have a lot. What are some kitted things that I'm no longer feeling like moved to even start for whatever reason? And then I had some things that I was like wanting to eventually start maybe in 2020 that were not completely kitted. And so I kind of sat and went, okay, I have some new fabrics that I've gotten. Let's get those pulled and put in. Let's see, you know, is there any fabric that I've had for over 6 months and it's just like, you know, I bought it and it's never going to be on something. So what this all boils down to is I have started over on Instagram, and I will put a link to a direct link to this, but Joy-Filled De-Stash. So I have some things I'm going to de-stash, some fabrics, some patterns, some flosses. And it will just be things, it'll even be a place where I can de-stash a pattern once I finish a chart, once I've finished it. Most things I won't ask what I paid for them. Some I will, like because Quaker Oz, I paid a pretty penny for it. So I'm going to ask at retail. I paid retail, but retail on it is a bit more than like what 1, 2, 3 stitch charges for some charts. So Joy-Filled De-Stash. And in light of that, I felt like, you know what, I was going through some of my flosses today and putting them away and like thinking about all of this. And I had all of the flosses already together on a floss string for one of my projects that I started, and it is a whip down. It is a whip down casualty. But it's going to be hopefully somebody's joy to stitch this. So this is a Beautiful Sea by Ship's Manor. I have a bit of a start. It actually still has the needle with some of the floss on it. And this is on a piece, a full 1/4 yard of Color and Cotton 18 count in Mardi Gras. It's a beautiful piece of fabric. It will not take the whole thing. This is like one of the top, this is like top center. And I don't think from what I remember it's going to take up the whole piece. I don't know that. At that point, I think this is a beautiful piece. I would love it if somebody wanted it to actually continue to stitch it. You will have to purchase the chart, but he has the PDF chart. I think he has it in his Etsy shop, and I also believe that he has it on his website. It is Ship's Manor, and I'll link the chart below if it's in both places. You will get all of the flosses, all of the Ship's Manor call for flosses, including the 2 Bonnie Blues. The only floss that's been used, some of them you can see are shorter. That's because I had those pulled to a separate floss card. The only floss that's been used is what was used to stitch what we already have. So again, you are going to get the full piece of fabric with the already done stitching, with the needle apparently, all the called for flosses, and like I said, all you will have to do is go on and purchase the pattern. So if you are interested in stitching this, please leave me a comment below. That first you've gone over and joined me at Joy-Filled De-Stash on Instagram. If you don't have Instagram, that's okay. And just tell me you don't have Instagram. But I'm going to be looking for, I want to stitch the C. S-E-A. So I'm going to be looking for, I want to stitch the C. And again, you will get those. I will link the pattern below. I cannot share the pattern with you because it was a digital pattern for me. And that is against all the copyright intellectual property things. All right. We're about to the 35-minute mark, so I feel like it's probably going to shut me off. So I'm going to take a minute to pause, and I'll be right back. All right, so we're back. So I, in lieu of being cut off like mid-sentence, I went ahead and stopped, and we'll go to a second part. I'm almost done. I only really have stash left. I wanted to share with you what my starts are for November, because you know, I just went through all the whip down, the kit down, the pattern down, but it made me realize there's things I absolutely want to start now and in December. So let me pull these real quick, because I was not prepared for this yet. It's not much. It is not much at all. Potter, why must you be in here clickety-clacking away? Thank you. My sweet Potter dog. Finally got a haircut. His hair was so long. He's a Cavalier King Charles, so they get shaggy. He gets a haircut once about every 3 months, and it's like he immediately loses like 30 pounds. Why can't he be that way for humans? I don't get my hair cut and it looks like I lost 30 pounds. I'm funny. I crack myself up. Okay, so what's coming this month? So one of the things that I'm going to start, this one is I believe a freebie from Heartstring Samplery. This is Grateful, Thankful, Blessed. And so I have the items to start this, and I am planning to start this one next Thursday. So every Thursday I'm going to have a chart from here through the end of November. So Grateful, Thankful, Blessed is next Thursday. And then I'm going to do, so some of these I'm hopeful to finish them fairly quickly. Get my finish count up for 2019. This one is Thankful and Grateful. This is Hands-On Designs. It's one of their chalk series. So this one only has 2 colors. I am waiting on, I have 18th Century Blackbird that could work from R&R, but I have ordered a slate linen from Witchelt that look really good on 1-2-3 Stitch. It's on its way. So I'm thinking this one would be awesome for that. This one only has 2 colors. I think I already said that. So that would be the 21st. On Thanksgiving itself, which is a Thursday, I'm going to start Gobble Gob. I'm very excited about this one, although I have heard about the insane amount of colors. And I've already purchased them, so I know how many there are. So this will probably test my patience a bit, but I have a full year to stitch it in order to have it for the following Thanksgiving. Yay. Okay, so then the other one that has now come into the picture, which I'm real excited, which doesn't have anything to do with Thursday, is if you did not live under a rock. I'm just kidding. That was really rude. So during the month of October, Stitchonomy, I found them through Facebook, I believe, did a sal of a cute little like Halloween, and it had like a grid, and each day had a different thing. Well, towards the end of that, she announced that she was designing a winter sal, which is 27 days of snowflake designs. So I was like, I can get on board with that. So I believe if you sign up before it starts, you can do it for free. And she posts the patterns. They either come to your email, which I think might be the way they do it, or I think they come to your email. And then you can post about them in the Facebook group. I'll link the Facebook group below. And there is a sign up in there for it. It starts November 23rd. So I think you have to be like signed up before then. So get on it. But I just went ahead and printed Winter Sal 2019. And when you sign up, you get an email. It's 6 DMC colors, which is, I've gone ahead and ordered some color and cotton. I've ordered ones that I think kind of go with the DMC. My hope is they're here by the 23rd. I think their flosses are ready to ship, but I think their turnaround time's a couple of days. We shall see. And then looking ahead to December, I know for a fact, I've discussed this before, I'm going to start, this is my Big Toe Designs Prince of Peace. This is going to be my Advent start. So this will start on Sunday, December the 1st, which is the first day of Advent. It will not get completed during Advent because it is a pretty intensive stitch. I will be doing the lettering first because I will start that one center. And then I will get to all of the cool Quaker motifs as we go. It only has 2 colors. And it's on a beautiful piece, I believe, of Under the Sea Fabrics. So I'm excited about that. All right, let's talk stash. And that's it. And we're done. All right, so what did I get in stash this week? So I went ahead and ordered Garone Totten Bags posted some overstocks after they did some pre-orders on Downton Abbey. So I just wanted to see what their little mini was about. So I got the mini one. My only sadness is I did not think it was going to be upside down on the front. In my mind, for this one, that would be an oops. And I did not pay for an oops price. So that kind of bums me out because the back is right side up. This one's completely upside down. And it was, they posted a picture, and the picture had it right side up. So I got the bad luck of the draw with an upside down Downton Abbey. So I guess my pouch is going to have to go like this to make sense. So that's kind of a bummer. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. Because I do think it would actually be good for like a small in-hand project. But I don't know what that would be yet. So, I probably will not order another mini. Because I just don't have small projects and I don't carry that many notions. So yeah. I still like his bags. But like I knew when I bought the cardinal one, I knew that was an oops. I knew I was getting Batbirds and I was okay with that. I don't know how to spin this. I spun it. I don't know how to spin it. There, it's spun. There we go. So we'll find a use for it. If not, I will gift it to someone. Somebody who loves it. Who loves wonky Downton Abbeys. Alright, so then I got my monthly fabric from Mystic Fabrics. So she does a Fabric of the Month Club. I think she's closed right now. I think she just opened it for a bit. She might open it again. I am in the Any Aida. And so this month I got a 16 count and it was an opalescent. It's a luck of a draw, 14, 16, 18, 20. Opal or not opal. It just depends on what she thinks looks best for that fabric that month. You can specify a count. I am tempted to see if the next time she does switch, that I can switch to the linen or the even weave. Just to try something different to build up my stash and other things. So, this is Witch's Brew. I think it's an awesome haunted, spooky stitching. I mean, it could even, I don't know, it could go many different ways. Because I kind of got one that's very interesting. Because up here I've got like a lighter spot. Then I've got some dark muddiness, murkiness. And then I've got some like unique like marbling down here. So it's a beautiful piece. Her Fabric of the Month is well worth it if you are looking for a Fabric of the Month club. It is truly a surprise. She does a spoiler post though, so if you are like, man, I don't care if I get surprised, whatever, you can go into the spoiler post. I like to be surprised. I think it's fun. I also love Under the Sea Fabrics, and Leslie, I asked a couple questions about going forward into 2020 and did a little survey. I answered the survey. I love that she lets you kind of switch once she's posted the color. But she's thinking of maybe just to make her life a bit less doing away with that. And I said, I'm cool with that as long as you let me switch my count. Because I would like to switch over because I think her linens are beautiful. And that way I could maybe be getting Aidas from Misty and linens from Under the Sea Fabrics. I'm not sure. And then I'm doing another Fabric of the Month club because I'm bonkers like that. I'm doing the Crazy Annie stitching. I somehow managed to squeak into their very limited Picture This Plus. And they did a primitives or neutrals. It was neutrals colorway, and they did a colors colorway. I have a lot of Picture This Plus colors, or the ones that were showing as options for the colors. And so I went ahead and went with the neutrals, and I ended up doing an 18 count neutral. And then I think I picked a linen 32, I believe. Which I kind of debated that before I paid my invoice because I've already paid January's. And thinking, do I want to do a 36? but I have a lot of 36 right now and actually quite a bit of 40, and I'm loving like XJs and R&Rs, 36s and 40s, and Patience Pluses are tighter. So that's kind of why I think I went with 32. The other reason I picked the neutrals is because it definitely showed like a question mark and said Nashville. And so I'm excited to see what that Nashville one would be. All right, so then Trisha with Threads and Twine sent me my Color and Cotton sub. So I think she might still have room in this. She does a 5 or 10 skein floss club from Color and Cotton. She is going alphabetically. Again, it's Threads and Twined and it's through her website. She initially was going to do it where you had to buy in every month, but then due to popular demand from those of us who were already in it and wanted to keep our spot, she did where she sends us an invoice. So I just paid November and I just got October. And so we are still in the A's and B's. So this month we got, and they come on a ring, Arctic, Artichoke. I love that one. That kind of looks a little bit like a 3011 or 3012, which I've had in a lot of patterns lately. So I'd be able to swap that in. Arugula. I love that. Lots of good neutrals. Ash Plum. Love that too. This was a good month. Autumn Bouquet. Look at that. That purple and olive kind of together. Amazing. Another good green. Avocado. I love this one. This is a great like Christmassy one. This is Balsam. So a good variegated. That's the thing I love about Angela's flosses is some you get are going to be highly variegated and some are going to be more, you know, tonal. And I love that you're going to get kind of a good variety. Then we've got Banana. Anybody remember that song? Bananas and pajamas are walking down the stairs. Or, oh, whoa, 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 banana phone. I don't know what that was from. Bear Copper, which I already have in a pattern. That's not showing up right at all. That's better. And then this one, I cannot wait to find something to stitch. This is a perfect autumn. This is Bargello. It's got like 5 different colors in it. I love it. So I'm really excited. The only thing that I noticed is the first month she put in some conversions to some different ones. Now I know, hey, that was probably a lot of work because I've tried to sit down with the DMC chart and do all of that or the Gentle Arts. I also know that she was just desperate to get all of her orders out because she had to evacuate due to the wildfires up in Sonoma County, California. And so she was just, I think, trying to get orders out. I think it's always been her intention to provide a conversion. This month we didn't get one. That's okay. I'm cool. I'm cool with that. All right, one more thing to share. So, I am a planner. Anybody else a paper planner? Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're a paper planner. So, I have my Plum paper planner. This is my A5 Vertical Priorities. This one is, I know, and it says, I know the plans I have for you. You can customize your cover. I do the standard cover with the clear overlay. And I have been in this one since July, so I will show you like this week. The reason why I say this is I now have a stitchy planner. So this is like my month. That was my month this month. I do stickers in my planner because I'm cute like that. And this was this week. So I have a cute, there's my vertical priorities. So I realized I was like, had a huge 8.5 by 11 notebook. I had multiple files on my computer and I felt like all of my stuff was all bonkers everywhere. So I kind of started to think, okay, could I move over to a paper planner that kept everything? And I said, okay, you know what? Let me try just kind of making up my own in a notebook, like on a piece of notebook paper, basically. Try it for a week, see if I like it. If I do, I'll commit to buying another Plum paper planner because I love them. There's so much customizing. So I loved it, and I'm going to share with you my plan. I had originally intended to start this in January. But then I thought, you know what? I'm going to be bummed if it comes in, I'm ready to use it, and I can't use it till January. So you can add on months. So you can pick your 12 month, and then you can add on additional months. So I got, this is an A5, and it is the morning, afternoon, evening. I'll show you the inside in a minute. And I put an A, joy-filled stitcher, and then the 1920. I customized this, the font, and all that. And of course I picked one with acorns. Acorns. So when you look inside, you have your Year at a Glance 2019, Year at a Glance 2020. This is what I'm excited about. I'm excited about all of the things that could have the potential. So I love this. This is special dates, but it's got a vertical box for each month of the year. And then each quarter is a different color. So my thought is, okay, this is a great place for me to keep track of what did I participate in, what are some planned starts, what are some things I want to get accomplished, some goals maybe. So that's my kind of like Year at a Glance. There's actually 2 of these because then there's ideas, plans, goals. So I thought, okay, this would be great to start thinking about mania, to start thinking about some of the different things that I like to track, and kind of, you could do it by months, I could do it by projects, floss lists, things like that. All right, so then there is monthly highlights and a notes page. My plan for the notes page is so I can keep kind of, if I'm needing to get some flosses, kitting, things like that, I can put that there. Monthly, this is where I'm going to track my birthdays, my projects' birthdays. So year to year, I can roll them over. It's similar to how Jessie Marie does hers. I actually have it in a calendar on my computer, but everything is going to come over to the paper. And you know what? I'm good with it. All right, so then with your weekly spread, it gives you 3 boxes. You can customize it. So I did customize mine. Right here, I put this week, so I can put my priorities here, or some things that I need to think about. I'm going to put my weekly stats here, so how many stitches I did, things like that. Then I'm going to, each day I have a spot for tasks. I thought here could be a spot to put any additional notes. And then I love the idea of maybe even picking each day. I have like a little small picture printer, putting some pictures in along the bottom of some of the projects I'm working on. So I haven't really fully fleshed that out yet. Then at the back of each month, you have another notes page. Again, a great place to plan out. Like I'll keep a note of fabric I need to cut for projects, or things I need to be looking for, or wish lists. This is my most favorite thing. I added on these to-do lists, I added 2 pages. This gives me 4 weeks worth times 4. So 4 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 weeks for my stitchy tasks. So like, for instance, Magical Stitches week 1, I can plan out my tasks. Magical Stitches week 2, plan out my tasks. Week 3, week 4. If we have 5 weeks in the month, which we have before, I can go to the back. We've got Enchanted Stitching. There's a spot where I could put my 24-hour cross stick as I'm planning those things out. And now it's all in one spot. Now, I'm going to show you one more thing, and then I'm going to quit blabbering on about my paper planner. I love it. There is a pocket in the back. This is an A5 size, which means this will fit a half sheet folded of standard paper. It is a front and back pocket. I added in 3 page protectors. And my thought on the page protectors was, I sometimes have like a little paper that I've jotted some notes on or something, and that can hold those. I went ahead and added 3 because it was the max I could add. I don't know that I'll even use all 3, but I thought, hey, while I have the opportunity, let me add them. So here's the thing. This is how my brain works. My brain works weekly in this. My brain wants everything to be in one spot. So now I have 2 beautiful planners. And so yeah. If you're at all interested in just looking at Plum paper and seeing what all they have, I have a link. It's actually a referral code that I'm going to post below. you don't have to use it, but the one nice thing is if you use it, you'll get $10 off your first order. Or something like that. I can't exactly remember. But I just thought I'd share that with you because it's something I'm pumped about. I did it at the end just in case you're like, meh, too long, didn't want to hear that. We are at another almost hour-long video, so for that, I apologize. I hope you have a great stitchy weekend ahead, that you're having nice weather where you are, that life is going well for you, that you're finding things that bring you joy. Please check out the Joy-Filled D-Stash page because I am going to be posting some things there starting probably the week of Thanksgiving. I want to give it time for some people to join in. Also, again, if you are interested in stitching on the beautiful C, put down in the comment box below. Let me know if you're interested in joining the D-Stash page over on Instagram and tell me you want to stitch the C or just C. I'm going to be looking for that keyword. Please, standard rules apply on my giveaway. It's not really a giveaway, but my Stitchy Kindness. You must be 18 so I can have your address legally. I would love it if you would subscribe, but that's not a requirement. Please do not say giveaway. I will delete your comment. And I don't want to delete comments. I haven't done it yet. And for all those who did comment on my last video, y'all rock. I loved reading all those and responding back. I was like, yay, I have stitchy things to talk about. And with that being said, thanks so much for joining me for another video. And until next week, have a wonderful, wonderful week, guys. Happy stitching. Bye.